Beep, beep. Scruff's number one. Scruff is the best. Scruff
What's
is
going
the
on?
best. Oh, hey Roz. Scruff is the best. Scruff is. What? So I said hi.
Yeah, but what's with the flag?
Oh,
And why are you doing a silly dance?
I just want everyone to know just how good I am. Today, I was walking down the street and I saw someone who needed some money. So I gave them some.
Oh,
Yeah, I only had 5 cents, but I still gave it to them. Yeah, so I want everyone to know that Scruff is the best. Scruff!
right. Okay. Well, look, we're going to read the Bible. So, hey, Scruff, do you want to read it with me?
You read, I'll dance.
Okay.
Scruff is the best.
All right, well, we're going to read from Matthew chapter 6, verses 1 to 4. And Jesus is still up on the mountain teaching the people how to live God's way. So let's see what Jesus says. Okay. When you do good deeds, don't try to show off. If you do, you won't get a reward from your Father in heaven. When you give to the poor, don't blow your own trumpet.
Hear ye! Scruff is the best. Who's number one?
Scruff!
That's exactly right.
Scruff, we're trying to read the Bible.
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, when you give to the poor, don't blow your own trumpet. That's what show-offs do in the meeting places and on the street corners because they are always looking for praise. I can assure you that they already have their reward. When you give to the poor, don't let anyone know about it. Then your gift will be given in secret.
Roz, what do you mean don't let anybody know about it? When you give some money to the poor, you want everyone to know about it.
Well, but that's what Jesus said.
Yeah, but no. When I do something, I want everybody to know Scruff is the best. Scruff!
Dear.
Scruff's number one. Scruff is the best.
I know it can be nice when people praise you for doing good things, but that's not the reason why we do them.
It's not? But what is?
Well, we do good things because doing good things, like helping poor people, is living God's way. Because see, God is so kind to us. He loves us and He helps us. So living God's way means helping other people and loving other people.
Yeah, well, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, but when we do good things, well, Jesus says to do it without telling anyone. That way we can know for sure that we're not doing it just to get praise.
But if you don't tell anyone, then maybe nobody will know. Maybe God won't even know. Yeah.
No, Scruff, of course God will know. Look, listen to what Jesus says next.
Okay.
He says, your Father knows what's done in secret and He will reward you.
So God does know what you do, even in secret.
Yeah. See, when we try to live God's way, God always sees and He loves it when we live His way. And that's so much more important than looking good to the people around us.
Well, I guess so. Well, I should get rid of this sign then. Yeah. Bye-bye, flag.
Oh dear. Well, it's been great reading the Bible with you. And why don't you keep reading it and find out more about how to live God's way?
Ross?
Yeah?
I've got a bit of a problem.
What's that?
What am I going to do with the sign now?
Scruff.
Beep, beep.
Hi everyone, I'm Larissa. In his famous Sermon on the Mount, Jesus tells his followers that they are to live God's way. To live God's way means doing things the way that God would. And throughout the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus tells us what that means. To live God's way means keeping your word. To live God's way means loving everyone, even your enemies. And to live God's way means not worrying, but trusting God. Now, we're not always going to get it right, but thankfully, Jesus did always live God's way. And so now, by trusting in Him, God will always accept us. And when we trust Jesus, He says we are to live God's way. Now, Jesus summarizes all of this in the Bible, and this can be found in Matthew chapter 5, verse 48. It says, "You must always act like your Father in heaven." And that is going to be our memory verse. I'll teach it to you with the actions, and then you can repeat it after me. It starts like this. Jesus says, your turn. Jesus says. And we're making a cross with our arms because the Bible says that Jesus died on a cross. But it also says that 3 days later, Jesus rose from the dead. And then we go, you must always act. Your turn. You must always act. And then we go on to say, like your Father in heaven. Your turn. Like your Father in heaven. Great work. And then we just say where this is from the Bible. So we're going to go, that's Matthew chapter 5, verse 48. Your turn. That's Matthew chapter 5, verse 48. Nice work. And that's all there is to it. So now you can jump up and do the memory verse with me and some of my friends. Are you ready? Let's go. Jesus says, you must always act. You must always act. You must always act like your Father in heaven. That's Matthew chapter 5, verse 48. Now let's do it small and quiet. Are you ready? Let's go. Jesus says, you must always act. You must always act. You must always act like your Father in heaven. That's Matthew chapter 5, verse 48. Now let's do it big and loud. Are you ready? Let's go. Jesus says, you must always act. You must always act. You must always act like your Father in heaven. That's Matthew chapter 5, verse 48. Good job, everyone. See you next time.